Welcome back guys to the part 4 of the mini project that we've been doing. Probably this is the last part of the project, and basically from the first part, which was modeling the hierarchical network design of XY company using Microsoft Visio, we managed to achieve a diagram like this one. So this diagram we drew using Microsoft Visio as per the requirement from the case study, as you can see. Then in the part 2 of the project, we managed to implement this diagram into Packet Tracer and drew such a diagram. That was part 2. Okay. Then part 3, which was yesterday, we managed to configure some few parameters like basic configurations of the layer 2 devices, of the access layer devices, the 8 switches that we had, okay, in every each switch in every department. And another parameter that we did was to configure VLANs. So in every department we configured a VLAN, okay. Then which criteria did we use to create VLANs? We used a technology called VLAN trunking protocol, VTP. VTP basically is a technique that you can use to create VLAN in only one switch, which is VTP server switch. Then this VLAN that you've configured in VTP server switch will be automatically copied to all the remaining switches which are VTP client switches. Okay, so in our case we made IT department switch as our VTP server switch and the remaining one as VTP client switches, and we managed to configure VLANs, and those VLANs that we configured automatically were copied to all these switches. Another thing that we did also was to configure VTP pruning, virtual VLAN trunking protocol pruning. VLAN trunking protocol pruning or VTP pruning is a technique that is used to filter certain VLANs through the trunk interface. It's a technique that we use to allow or deny certain VLANs through the trunk interface. Okay, we can say it's one of the layer 2 security. Okay, and guys, that marked the end of yesterday's class, which was part 3, and today in part 4 we are going to end this class by configuring the remaining parts. The first thing that we are going to configure is Etherchannel, and we are going to use a standard protocol of this one, LACP. Okay, then do a little bit of subnetting, then configure the devices, then configure the end devices with IP addresses, then port security, and finally test communication. So guys, let's start. We want to configure Etherchannel. We said in our previous class that Etherchannel is a technology that is used to bundle 2 or more physical links into a logical channel. Okay, whenever there are redundant links, let's say from IT department to research departments, there are 3 links. In normal situation, spanning tree protocol will be enabled, and whenever spanning tree protocol is enabled, only one link will be allowed to forward traffic at a time to avoid loops. That really leads to wastage of bandwidth, because the remaining 2 links will be put into blocking state, right? So to maximize bandwidth and allow the 3 links to forward traffic as one logical link, we use a technology called Etherchannel. Okay, and how to configure Etherchannel can use 3 ways. There is a manual configuration which we put the links in on state. Then there is LACP configuration, which we put the links in either active or passive state. Then, and finally, there is PHP protocol configuration, which we put the links in auto or desirable states. So guys, remember, in PHP, if you configure either channel on one side of the switch to have desirable mode, then the other side should never have desirable mode. Okay, they can have auto, but it should never be desirable. Okay, alright. Again, in LACP, if you configure one side to be passive, the other side should never be passive. Okay, it can be active or active passive, but never passive. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and configure either channel. We've been told to use LACP protocol. So guys, where are we going to configure either channel? We have distribution layer, access layer. Okay, but in our configuration, we were only told to configure access layer switches. We were only told to configure access layer switches, and guys, there are no links connecting a switch to switch in access layer. So that means we may need to configure either channel to layer 3 switches between access layer switches and distribution layer switches, but that will break the rule of configure only access layer switches. So guys, to prevent that, I'm going to add some links between IT department to research department, then IT department to electrical, and so on and so forth. So let me just do it for our demonstration purposes. Go to automatic cable connection, then click on IT department and connect to research. Then again, because either channel we only configure it, we should configure it where there are redundant links. Again, another one. If you look keenly on the links that we have just added, you will see that there will be orange. Just wait, some will turn green, but others will remain orange. Why? Because by default, spanning tree protocol is enabled, and whenever spanning tree protocol is enabled, all links cannot forward traffics at a time to avoid loops. Others will be put into blocking state. Okay guys, as you can see, the port in the other switch has been put into blocking state. Okay, so the traffic can only go one way, this one, using the other link, this green. It cannot go through this one because this port is put into blocking state, or it cannot come from the other switch through the other interface. That means spanning tree protocol has been enabled, and we want to configure either channel using which protocol? LACP. Guys, let me comment something. I'll use LACP. Which mode? Active. Okay, here. Okay, just here, don't worry about anything. So I will go to this switch and configure either channel. Whenever I configure either channel, the orange icon will turn to green, meaning all the ports will be in forwarding state and they can forward traffic at a time, and these two ports will be bundled together to form one logical channel. So let me go to IT department switch. Come. Remember, we configured things yesterday like passwords. So my password was Cisco at 123. Enable config T. And now, which interfaces are these? This one is FA06 and the other one is FA07. So its interface range FA06 to 7. Okay, then switch port mode trunk, they should be in trunk. Okay, then channel group 1, then mode. This is how we configure Etherchannel. We enter the two interfaces, then converted them to trunk, and then we are now configuring Etherchannel in the two interfaces. Okay, channel group 1 mode should be active. So active mode will try to convert the other interface into Etherchannel. So let's just hit enter. Okay, then exit this interface, and now guys, we have created a channel group 1. So guys, we must enter the port channel interface. So which group did we created? Interface port channel 1. Okay, as you can see, channel group 1. So we are going to enter that channel, interface port channel 1. Okay, hit enter, then convert that channel into trunk interface. Switch port mode trunk. Okay, do right. Okay guys, so let's go to the other switch and configure the same. Okay, I'll go to the other switch, this switch, Cisco at 123, Cisco at 123, enable config T, then interface range FA06 to 7, switch port mode trunk. Okay, do right, exit this interface, sorry, channel group 1. Okay, they are in channel group 1, mode active. Okay, hit enter. Right, okay, then exit the interface. So guys, interface port channel 1 should be switch port mode trunk. Okay, switch port mode trunk, like that. Do right. Okay guys, so let's wait and check the two interfaces if they will turn green. Let's just wait. Okay guys, as you can see, now all the ports are in forwarding state. Remember, this interface was in blocking state, and that's why it was orange. But because we have configured Etherchannel here, all the interfaces are now in forwarding state, and they are now bundled together to form one logical channel. Right? Alright guys, now I'll do another demo, the final demo for Etherchannel between this switch and this one, so that the remaining switches you can configure on your own for your practices. Right? So let me just connect the two switches very fast. This one and this one. Okay, if you pay a close attention, you will see that one port will be turned into blocking state to avoid loops in the network due to spanning tree protocol enabled. Right? Okay, just give it time. Okay guys, as you can see, the two ports have been turned into blocking state, this one and this one, so they cannot forward traffic. So guys, we want to enable Etherchannel between the two switches so that these two links can be bundled together to form one logical channel to forward traffic. So I'll come to electrical switch. I'll go to CLI Cisco at 123, enable config T. Interface range FA0/627, switch port mode trunk. Okay, then channel group 2 mode active. Okay, and then exit the interface and now come to interface port channel. Interface port channel 2, switch port mode trunk. Okay, then do right. I'll go to the second switch, this one, and configure the same parameters. Cisco at 123, enable config T, then interface range FA0/627, switch port mode trunk, and then channel group 2 mode active. Okay, and then exit the interface so that we can enter the port channel interface port channel 2, switch port mode trunk. Okay guys, do right to save the configuration and then close this one. Wait, you will see the orange indicators, the orange link, the blinking links will turn to green. Okay, so just give it time. As you can see guys, it's successful. It is successful, meaning either channel has been successfully configured. Alright guys, so guys, you can do the same for the remaining switches, right? And to check the status of either channel, just come here and say do show either channel, like that one. As you can see, which group was this one? We configured to have which group? Group 2, and how many ports? 2 ports, FA0/6 and 27. Then which protocol? We use LACP. With which mode? Active mode. And to go to, let's say, a research department switch, Cisco at 123, enable show either channel. It was group 1, 2 ports were involved in to form either channel, and then which protocol? LACP mode active. Alright guys. Okay guys, I will go very fast. Let me see what's next. What's next basically is to plan over IP addresses. Okay, so we have been given a base network of this one, and we've been told to do a little bit of subnetting so that we can divide this network into subnetworks to fit every department. Right? Remember, we have how many departments? We have 8 departments. And to do subnetting, this will really take us a lot of time. And I have already recorded a class that demonstrates how subnetting is done. A 2 simpler way of doing subnetting. And if you have not watched that video, kindly refer back to the previous class. And I will not do actual subnetting right now, because if I try to do them, that will really take a lot of time. Okay, so allow me to generate subnets using a software. I already have a software here called Advanced Subnet Calculator. Just hit enter. Okay, so this is the software that we're going to use to do subnetting. So just come to where it's written CIDR calculator. We were given 192.168.100.0. /24. /24 is 24 bits. Just come here and say 24. Okay, like this. Okay guys, and now guys, this software will automatically generate your subnets. So it's upon you to choose how many subnets do you want. We want 8 subnets. Remember, we have 8 departments, so we will need 8 subnets. So come where it's written number of subnets and choose 8, like that. Okay guys, and press on generate. So this is the range of IP address that will assign to every department. Host range. Okay, this one. So for IT department, you can come and copy. That way, come back to our software and click here and write. You paste. That way guys. Okay, and the same you do for VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VLAN 40, and so on and so forth. So guys, I will do for only 3 departments. So let me choose IT department, then marketing department, and finally store department. Okay, so for store department will be our last subnet, the last one, this one. You copy, then you come to store, you paste there. Okay, and which one again do we need to this one. Okay, marketing department is which subnet? The 4th subnet. So we'll take this 4th subnet from these generated values 1 2 3 4. Okay, copy, and you come to marketing and paste. Guys, remember, we have not done subnetting. The software has done it for us, because subnetting really takes us a lot of time, and the video will be very long, so we don't want that scenario. And suppose you have not watched the previous videos on subnetting, kindly refer back. There are already made videos on subnetting that clearly explain how subnetting is done. So I've moved to the simplest way of doing subnetting using this software. It's called Advanced Subnet Calculator. Okay, IP range of the, make sure that you give the IP range of the remaining subnets. Okay, and in this case I'll only give for the 1st subnet, 4th subnet, and the 8th subnet, the last subnet. So I will configure the host devices using this IP range. Let me go to first computer, just click on the computer, come to desktop, IP range, and the IP was this one. The range is from 1 to 100, so I'll give just 2, this one, and dot 1 I'll give our gateway dot 1. Okay, alright. So for this 4th subnet, for this I will not do for all the devices, 1 is enough. Okay, so for the 4th computer, which range? The range was the range was 192.168.100 from 97 to 126. Okay, so this one will be 98, and our gateway will be the same, dot 1. Okay, and now the last subnet. Remember, we have skipped some subnetwork because of time. so it's upon you to try and implement those, because I've shown you a simpler way of doing it. And then our gateway will always remain the same to one, like that one. Okay, so guys, let me see what you have not done. We have done planning of IP addresses and device configuration, and now port security. Guys, this is the last part of the project. Okay, port security. So guys, if you want to configure port security, you must specify which ports do you want to secure. And for our case, we want to secure these ports that are connected to the host devices. Okay, so let me check which ports are these one. It's FA0/3 to FA0/5. So I'll go to the switch configuration and try to return some things. Okay, then after entering that range, FA0/3 to 4. Okay, switch port mode, access. Okay, then switch port security, okay, that one. The first thing that you must do, you must enter the interface that you want to secure. For our case, the 3 host devices are connected to FA0/3 to 5, I mean not 4. So let me redo the to 5. Okay, then switch port mode, access, then switch port security. The 3 commands. You must enter the interface first, then turn the interface into access mode and write this command, switch port security. Then the third command that then the fourth command that you're gonna write is switch port security. It is switch port security maximum. How many MAC addresses do you want to allow through these ports? I only want to allow 1 MAC address for each port. Okay, such that this computer is the only computer that will access that interface. This printer is the only printer that will access this interface, as well as this server. Okay, only one. Okay, then switch port security, MAC address. How do you obtain MAC address? We were told to use which command? Sticky. Do right. Then switch port, violation shutdown. Okay, then do right. Then do not so right. Do right like that. Then do show port security. Guys, as you can see, we have successfully configured port security in the 3 ports, switch ports, FA0/3, FA0/4 and FA0/5. And then which violation mode did we use? Shutdown. Okay, alright guys, so for the last demo, allow me to show you how to configure port security for the last time. I will configure for this switch now. So go to that switch, Cisco at 123, enable config T, then interface range. I know it's from FA0/3 to 5 for a search department switch also. Okay, then switch port mode, access, then switch port security. Okay, then again switch port security maximum, only 1 MAC address I want to access each interface at a time. Then switch port security MAC address I want to obtain through sticky command. Okay, then switch port security violation should be shut down. Okay, do right. Then which command? Do show port security. Can you see the same thing as we did in IT department? Okay, and guys, to test port security, allow me to do something. I'll close this thing and take another computer, place it somewhere here. Okay, and take the link from a server. Remember, this server is connected to FA0/5 port in a switch, and that particular port, we secured it to only obtain MAC address of this printer, to only accept the MAC address of this printer. So I will take this link and connect to this PC. Okay, and allow me to assign IP address to this PC. IP address will be 192.168.100. Let me say 5. That one, and copy IP address and paste here for that one, like that one. Just wait until this one turns green, and I want to show you our port security is working. Wait until it turns green. I want to show you that no other host device can connect to that port other than this printer. The port will try to block any traffic going to any strange computer or coming from any strange host device. Just click on this computer and come to CLI. So guys, there's something that I want you to see. Okay, I want to try to ping this computer. It had a IP address of 192.168.100.2, I think. So let me try to ping it, and there's something that I really need you to see. Let me place this. Let me place the computer next close to the switch, then this one on this side. Okay, okay, so I'm going to ping from this computer to this computer. Ping 192.168.100.2. guys, a moment you will try to ping from this computer, that port will be put into shutdown state, because the switch doesn't recognize the MAC address of this computer. Okay, the port was only configured to accept a MAC address from this printer. So let me try it. Enter. Can you see this, guys? Can you see it has turned to shutdown state? Okay, the port is shut down and we can only turn it on again. So let me turn it on again and try to ping again. So I'll go to FA0/5 and can you see, turn on. Then wait until it turns green and let's ping again. We will ping again when it turns green. Okay, okay guys, it has turned green, so let us ping again. Ping. You can retrieve this one. Check carefully, you will see this one will turn to red. So let me hit enter. Can you see, guys? Port security is working. So let me go to that switch interface and now show you port security information. Do show port security. Where is it, that command? Do show port security. Okay guys, we have received some violation. Okay, we have received how many violations? This one and this one and this one. Okay, so guys, so far so good. I think we have configured almost everything. as per the requirement. And a matter of testing communication, you can do it on your own, guys. Alright, and guys, I think that marks the end of this project. So far so good. Let's meet again in the next class. In the next class we will start on routing. So guys, stay tuned, subscribe, and keep updated, right? And make sure that you subscribe before you log out, right guys? And bye, see you again in the next class.